Hello everyone, this is Hot Dusty here, and today we are going to be predicting the next episode of RWBY Volume 6, Episode 2. First, let's go into the first part of the episode with Salem and the rest of her goonies. Salem starts giving a speech from the trailer and is talking to Emerald. Obviously, Emerald is still shocked for the events of the end of Volume 5, and she wants to give revenge for the heroes killing Cinder. We presume as the audience that she's not dead, but of course, at least to Emerald's knowledge, that she is as of now, and of course wants to get revenge. But with Salem's speech is basically saying, we don't care about that right now. We're gonna focus on what I want to do. But if you go straight from that path, things may not look good for you or the people that you care about. That's pretty much what Salem is saying. But at the same time, she's saying it's not a threat, that's only the truth. It's kind of a threat, really, it's kind of a threat. Of course, we also get the introduction to Tyrion in this episode, too, because it's been, Volume 4 is this the last time we saw him? Which has actually been a long time. We only got a mention of Tyrion in Volume 5, so yeah, his appearance was last seen in Volume 4. In Volume 4. Damn, it's really been a long time since we've seen the dude. So, of course, he's being creepy around Emerald and stuff like that, saying, pretty much going around lines like this, don't send her to save you now, stuff, saying, you're fucked. And then, of course, there's going to be more stuff with the villains, but that's pretty much the gist of what, I'm thinking is going to happen. But then we're going to go back to part 2 with Team RWBY and everyone else. And the granny introduces themselves to the gang and is still being mysterious, but they won't along with it and let her go with them for now. Yane is still pissed at Osmond for not telling them about the relic being able to attract Grimm, and tells him why he kept that secret after promising no half-truths or keeping secrets like these away from the group. Osmond, of course, being Osmond, still is being mysterious. Of course, Yang gets mad, and RWBY, being the team leader, tries to calm her down, but fails, and we get the shot for the trailer of Oscar going onto the ground and screaming for unknown reasons. RWBY is concerned, while Yang is ready to fight. Weiss is pretty much, you fucked up, but I think in a way it's kind of she's kind of preparing to fight a little bit and see what's up. And Blake is ready to draw a weapon. Next thing we know, Crow comes in and tries to calm everyone down, succeeding to do so. Yang asks Osmond what just happened to Oscar, and Osmond saying this is still Oscar getting used to having another soul into the body. Even though everyone else doesn't believe him, they move on and continue walking. What's very interesting about this and why I think this could go into the play is you could definitely tell at this point, if this does turn out to be the case of the next episode, of if Osmond lies about what exactly is happening to Oscar at this moment in time, you could definitely tell that everyone is going to be really upset about it, and it's definitely going to be people more mysterious of him in the next couple of episodes. What I think is happening from the trailer anyway, from Oscar going full on Screamo during that moment in time, is that Osmond is getting more and more control of Oscar's body. Okay, so it's I think at some point, because the opening, the very last shot of the opening, and kind of the Oscar right there in that shot really reminds me of Osmond, with his, Osmond is probably in control during that shot. So he has his king kind of like this, he's standing up tall, ready to fight, because Oscar definitely wouldn't be standing like that. It's definitely Osmond in that control state. So it could either mean A, Osmond is just in control for that time for a little bit, or B, it could resemble the fact that Osmond is probably going to get full control of Oscar's body, because it definitely seems what's interesting is that during the other Osmond that we saw during volumes 1 through 3, it really doesn't feel there were two souls in there. It didn't really make you question, okay, that there was possibly two souls. So it really does make me wonder if the fact that Osmond is going to get full control of Oscar at some point, and at this point it's actually kind of likely that this could end up being the case, okay, because if you really do think about it, I said earlier, that during volumes 1 to 3, that Osmond, the one before Oscar. Really doesn't seem like to be in the state that Oscar was in when trying to get control of his body, trying to stay in control and stuff like that. It kind of just accepted it, and really it was just Oscar during that moment in time. So it really does make me question if Oscar is going to go away at some point and Oscar is going to be the one in full control. It's been very interesting to see how that goes. Now, we could either get another reveal during this moment in time that the Granny could reveal that she is a Silver Red Warrior, because I predicted in last week's episode that it would be revealed in episode 1, but obviously it didn't. Now, I'm really getting the feeling we're probably going to get the reveal that she is a Silver Red Warrior, probably A, this week's episode, or B, in the third episode. I really don't want it to be the fact that we have to wait for the reveal until like half of the season, because that would be drastically long just to get a reveal like that. And to get it out of the way right there would be perfect so that we can spend more time training Ruby of how to use the silver eyes and stuff like that. Because I definitely, a lot of people think it's pretty obvious at this point, especially from the opening, being like going to zoom in on both of them. Granny and Ruby between their eyes is really hinting at the fact that Granny is a Silver Eyed Warrior, and it would be kind of a downer if we don't get the reveal like way in the season. I think it would be more beneficial if we get it pretty much right away. What else did I? And at the end of the I did have something else here. Is that they walk for a while, and of course the relic attracted Grimm comes into play. And it attracts some Grimm, but of course they defeat them and keep on going, which is why I do think having the fact that the relic attracted Grimm would make more sense if they do find more Grimm, like along the lines, even if they are doing like drastic downgrade emotions and stuff like that, being miserable, whatever emotions, that will attract Grimm. But with the relic now being able to attract Grimm, there's definitely going to be a lot of Grimm along the way, so tracking to the relic. So it's like, at this point in time, it's way more likely they're going to see a lot of Grimm when we're trying to go to August, okay? To the continent of August. But now, we never finished trailer, but for the opening with the the hooded figure, we're going to be going back there for the end of the episode with the hooded figure, and go through a crowd and opens the door to the 3 people, close people from the trailer, and they ask who this person is, and it shows either A is going to be Neo, or B is going to be Cinder. Now, the hooded figure is likely going to be, what's interesting is that people found out that during the beginning of the opening, the hooded figure, if you look at the left and right arm, both of those like hands are completely normal, okay? So which means people to believe that that time, in that moment in time, that hooded figure is Neo, trying to resemble like another person and stuff like that, trying to stay away from the shadows, not be recognizable and stuff like that. She definitely would be recognizable after the attack of Beacon, because she was strongly resemblance there. And then Cinder, some people think Cinder's in the later opening when she's fighting Neo, because during that moment in time, you can see like the arm being like complete skeleton and stuff like that. Like, you don't see that at the beginning of around the opening when the first time you see the mysterious figure with Roman's hat and stuff like that. You only see that, which is very interesting, because I think at some point Neo is probably going to be dressed like Cinder, but somehow still has that, and then of course, Cinder being Cinder, notices that someone's like resembling her and stuff like that. And maybe that's how they get to fight, but I'm very curious of how that's going to play out, because it did look very interesting. But yeah, that's basically how I think is going to go down in episode 2. It's probably not... I think the only really crazy reviews I can see happening in this episode is either A, the mysterious figure of who is that going to be, and B, if Granny is going to reveal that she's a Silver Eyed Warrior. That's probably the only big reveals we're probably going to get. Maybe we might get a little fight scene here and there with the Grimm, because, they're being attracted to the relic, so maybe we might get a little fight scene there, and we might be back up with the villains. So, yeah, this is what I think what's going to happen in episode 2. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for reviews like these. And I'll see you next time. Bye!